In 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, it's Nichi, and today we have another very exciting author spotlight for you. Today we have Marcus Hawke, who is not only a Canadian author, he's a local Canadian author, and he's the author of this gem right here, The Miracle Sin.
Hello, I'm Marcus Hawke, and welcome to my Marcus Talk. I am the author of this, The Miracle Sin, and also this, Every Hunt is a Cold One, from the brilliant Bitter Chills Winter Anthology from Blood Rights, and also this, Zombie.com, also from Blood Rights, from the Parasite Gods Anthology, and also this, Bump in the Night. The current cover doesn't look like this. This is an old one. But, you know, more on that later. So, yeah. Hi.
Isn't this a gorgeous cover? Now, I will admit I have not had the privilege of reading any of Marcus's work as of yet, but clearly I have a copy of this gem right here on my shelf, and I cannot wait to dive into it. I have really enjoyed getting to know Marcus over the last few months. My goodness, is he hilarious. He's one cool dude, and I don't know about you, but I can't wait to get to know more about Marcus and his work. Did you always want to be an author?
No, I first wanted to be Batman, then a musician, then a filmmaker, then an author, which I think is better than all those things combined because you get to be all of those things at the same time. Except for Batman, that would actually be pretty cool. Minus the dead parents. Anyway, the desire to write was something that started in high school, and I guess it just never went away. And a good thing, too, because it feels like it's really what I'm supposed to do. And it's been a saving grace more than once, and it's a good conduit for things that need to be expressed, lest they consume you.
Are there any authors that influenced you and or your writing style?
Anne Rice, for sure. Also Joe Hill, Nick Cutter, a great Canadian author who wrote The Troop and The Acolyte. Patrick Rothfuss, author of The Name of the Wind. Not a huge Stephen King fan, but I'm just kidding. I love him. Big Tarantino fan as well, as far as screenwriters are concerned. So for any extended dialogues that might arise in my work, that's definitely who to thank for that.
Where did the idea for The Miracle Sin come from?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Nichi. It's a timeless Bildungsroman full of much schadenfreude and ethos and pathos and logos and Porthos and D'Artagnan that actually the very first version of which was produced from an exercise in a writing class I was in at the time. It involved a man pulling up to an old woman's house during a winter storm and leaving his infant son in her care. That boy became Mason Cole, the main character. The old woman became Rose, his grandmother. And basically everything else changed, but that was it. It's also very much an homage to a number of things that came before it, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Supernatural, The X-Files. One review said parts of it reminded them of Hellraiser and Aliens. Not that it's at all like either of those, but I thought that was very generous indeed.
Where would you like to see your work 5 years from now?
In a time capsule, waiting to be unearthed by the descendants of the survivors of the eventual zombie holocaust. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, every writer dreams of one day seeing their work in a bookstore, I'm sure. An actual bookstore. So I think that would kind of be the greatest thing ever. Right now, my work is available exclusively online through Amazon and other retailers coming soon, I hope. But I know there are ways to accomplish this, so yeah, that's a step that I think is coming someday, I hope.
What is the largest obstacle you have faced during your author career?
Oh, well, learning on the fly, for sure. I didn't know what I was doing when I started out. Getting seen in the first place, like submitting for years short stories to magazines for years and years before I finally saw an acceptance letter. That's a big one. How long it would take to start seeing any real reward for the effort put into it. That's a big one. But fortunately, those are all obstacles that turned into one of the greatest opportunities ever, and I've met nothing but amazing people along the way, a fact for which I'm eternally grateful and glad I stuck to it.
Would you care to share any information on what you may be currently working on, or is it a secret?
It is not a secret. Currently, I'm working on a few smaller stories, but the main thing that I'm working on and will continue to be working on for the foreseeable future is actually a follow-up to the Miracle Sin, the oft-inquired sequel to the Miracle Sin. So yeah, that's where most of my efforts will be devoted over the next little while. And on a personal note, I just wanted to say that I really do appreciate and deeply thank everyone who's read and loved this story. Their words, not mine. That's exactly what every writer hopes to hear someday about their work, and I couldn't be more thankful. So thank you, all of you.
Marcus, have you been switching outfits?
Why, whatever do you mean?
Have you been changing your clothes in between questions?
Why, whatever do you mean?
Why, whatever do you mean? That's what I mean. Seriously, fine, whatever, don't answer me. Clearly, you have been changing outfits throughout this whole entire interview. There you have it, everyone. That is the fantastic, the brilliant, the incredibly hilarious and entertaining Marcus Hawke. Thank you so much, Marcus, for coming on and taking part in this author spotlight. Thank you all for coming and watching. Make sure you go and pick up a copy of The Miracle Sin or any of the other pieces that Marcus had mentioned at the beginning of this video. That's everything for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this author spotlight, and I will see you guys all in my next bookish video. Bye.
Why, whatever do you mean?